Just now we talk about Pastor Ben Skadian. I think Grace EFC is very outstanding in leadership transition. Grace EFC, in case you don't know, is in Subang Jaya. You know, I know that generation of older elders, Sin Chiu, David Tew, and there's at least one of their son is already in the board. Yeah. So one good thing to pass on is, for example, Alex, maybe train your daughter and your son to be in the church board. That will be a wonderful thing to pass on, you know. Chikyong, you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Of course, in our mind, it's very natural. You know, we'll be thinking about our engineering practice and our business, but there's something else we can do. There's something else we can do. Yeah. More than just thinking about the earthly things. There's something else more we can do to pass on to the next generation. When we look at this text and also the Bible, the Old Testament as a whole, God is often referred to with this title: the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Very often. And we know that Abraham is the father of Isaac, and then Isaac is the father of Jacob. We know. So it appears, if we just use these three names, it appears that God is a tri-generational God, a God of three generations. But no, if we look deeper, God is not just a God of three generations. God is a God of the generations thereafter as well. So God is a transgenerational God, from one generation to the next generation. And therefore, faith in God has to be passed on from one generation to the next generation. Almost like in a 4x100 rally. You know what I'm talking about? That race that people run in some sports event where they are 4 runners. The first runner will run holding a baton in the hand. And then he will do that 100-meter lap. And before he finishes, the next runner will be looking, getting ready, and then run, and then receive the baton from the first runner, and this will go on until the last runner. The faith, the baton of faith must be passed on from one generation to another generation. Our faith must also be transgenerational. There was one time in my life when my children were young, and I asked this question. I literally asked this question. I asked myself, will the God of Jason Fong, which is me, be the God of Sarah Fong? I asked myself the question. I asked myself the question, will the God of Jason Fong also be the God of Hannah Fong? I asked myself this question when my children were young. Now I don't need to ask already. Yeah, now I don't have to ask now. Why? Because I think they have received the baton of faith from me. Yeah. My elder daughter is going to a Presbyterian church. So husband and wife are in a Presbyterian church serving there. My younger daughter is going to a Methodist church. So husband and wife going to the Methodist church serving there. In fact, my younger daughter recently, this church has a very serious vetting approach for church membership, you know. So they have to go through a few classes, 4 or 5 or 6 classes, and then after have to go for a retreat, you know, 2-day, 1-night retreat before they can, you know, become a church member. So I told my daughter, I said, you go and tell the church that your father is Jason Fong. Maybe you can get some concession, you know. You don't have to attend so much, you know. She did not. She did not. But I can imagine, you know, if she told the church, you know, my father Jason Fong, then they asked, your father in serving where? My father served in an AOG Pentecostal church. I think we have to increase your classes. No, I don't think so. I'm just joking. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy that you know, within my family, I have a Presbyterian, I have a Methodist, and I myself, although I am a part-time pastor in an AOG church, I serve the church at large. I'm very happy about this. It's not easy, actually. It's not easy for our children. So I challenge each and every parent in this hall. Ask the question. Ask the question that I ask myself. Will the God of Jason Fong be the God of Sarah Fong? Will the God of Jason Fong eventually be the God of Hannah Fong? I got 2 daughters only. So I ask myself this question, because we cannot take for granted that just because I am a Christian, automatically the next generation will become Christian. We cannot take for granted. And in the years of ministry, I have heard many parents lamenting and crying. Once upon a time, my daughter went to Sunday school. Once upon a time, my son played the drum in the youth service, but now they are no more Christian. I've heard many parents crying and moaning and lamenting. And we must seriously ask this question. Yeah. I saw the church vision, you know, intentional discipleship making. Am I right? Yeah. And I think the most important discipleship making is that I can pass my faith to my own children. I think that is very, very important.